So this is mainly a review of a hotel that we stayed at when we went to Shanghai. This is about our fifth or sixth time in Shanghai, but this was my favorite hotel, and I knew it before we even got in the room. And that's why I started recording before we opened the door right here. I just knew it because the vibe when you walked into the building is completely different, and you'll see that later on in the video. If you happen to be in Shanghai and you're looking for a nice date night or a nice room, little sexy room, this would be it. The bathroom was amazing. I'll show you more later. And all the different little nooks and crannies and closets that you wouldn't even notice. And yeah, you'll see later on in this video. But this hotel was amazing. The view was amazing. The comfort level, amazing. The sheets and the pillows remind me of the Four Seasons. It's almost up there. And Four Seasons has the best bed and best pillows and makes you want to collapse. Again, look at the view. This is us coming straight from Thailand. Look at that girl. Got right in the bed. You look dirty. I told you guys this bed was amazing. Grace got in the bed and said it. She was like, wow, this is amazing. And we had just stayed at a Hyatt. But again, that was a Hyatt place in Thailand. We didn't know the difference, but we found out. The NBA paid for this, of course. It was pretty pricey, if I'm not mistaken. However, it was definitely worth it. There was nothing that they didn't have. It was no comfort left behind. So I'm going to try not to make this video too long. I'll get to the NBA Global Games party, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of the room. You definitely will want to stay here. It's pretty pricey, if I'm not mistaken, but I just love it. There's nothing that they left undone. Closet space and a big mirror inside the bathroom. Can we pause for that extra closet space and that huge mirror in the bathroom? Because that's what I want when we get a home, when we decide to settle and get some roots. Also, the bathroom, that it was off to the side all the way to the right. We didn't even notice it when we came in. And that's cool for couples that don't like to use the bathroom around each other. We're way past that stage. So we don't care, but it's definitely tucked away from the bathroom, like where the bath and the shower is, and it's away from the room. So there's complete privacy there. There's also a TV in the bathroom. Love that. We arrived at like 3 o'clock in the morning from Thailand. So this is the first time we saw the view in the daytime. Not that it's necessary, but they gave us an extension cord, which when there are already outlets all around the room. They left nothing undone. And they also left instructions for hookup for HDMI cords and different other little gadgets. And I really appreciate that because sometimes we need an adapter because sometimes they don't have the outlets that we have back home and we have to bring in our extra adapter. So if you're on a business trip, this will be helpful. At this point, I was still missing Thailand, so Wayne went and got me a coconut to try to hold on to the vacation because at this point, you can feel that you're back in China. Not that I don't like China, it's not that, but these work trips, which you'll see later, are work. Kiss me now so you won't run out of breath underwater. Girl, you can hold on long. And the rooms are nice. This is the view at night, but notice where I am at night. I'm in the hotel room because it's very difficult to keep Grace from being too busy when we are in certain places, and so I always end up staying in these days. We used to be able to take her with us everywhere and it was fine, but as of lately she's more mobile and she's busier and more curious, so it's a little hard. And for me, it's very difficult for me to want to try to get dressed up just to get messed up by my toddler. That's why I usually have on black or sweats or just some workout attire because I know what's going to happen. So I don't like putting in effort because it takes a lot of effort to get ready with her around anyway. In a nutshell, if I'm going to go out, I would like to enjoy myself. And if I have a feeling that that's not going to be the case, I stay back. For some people, even people that I love and love me, they don't always understand, but we live in a hotel. So for me to stay in a hotel, even when we go other places and have to stay back from different events, it's not very fun. I enjoy traveling and I enjoy seeing new places, but when it's for work for Wayne, it is a little more intense for me because I'd rather sometimes be in my own hotel room than others, because here everything's familiar and Grace can't really do too much, and if she does, they are like family to us and we're like family to them, so we're not charged all the time for her reckless behavior. If you're new to this page, you might not know, but we've been living in a hotel in Utamuchi where foreigners can't really rent apartments, and if you're interested in finding out more about that, there is a video on my page about us trying to rent an apartment and more information about why we cannot. So if you are interested, again, check that out. But we have been living in a hotel room for almost 2 years. So staying in a hotel is not always so fun for me, because if you watched my other videos, like the recent one from part 2A or part 2B for the 17 days away, you'll see that Grace sometimes ruins things at other hotels and we end up having to come out of pocket to pay to replace things. And that's not really fun, having to watch her every move. At least when we're back in our own hotel, like I said, it's not as tense and I don't have to, I'm still watching her like a hawk, but I have a little more leeway. With that said, I still love my baby and we have a great time.
Eating sugar?
Mama.
Telling lies? Telling lies?
No, Mama.
Open wide.
No, Mama.
Gracie.
No, Mama.
Eating sugar? Eating sugar?
No, Mama.
Telling lies?
No.
Are you telling lies?
No, Mama.
Open wide. Open wide.
Again, I can't stress enough how comfortable this bed was. Like, you can melt in it and then never want to get up. That's another thing with business trips. So I'm not always too upset that we have to stay behind, even though I know I just said that sometimes I am upset that we have to stay behind. But I'm not always upset because we don't really get to make use of the room all the time because there's always something going on. So I really wasn't too mad this trip about staying behind because the bed was so comfortable. So we had tickets. The whole reason we're here is for the NBA Global Games. There's a basketball game, as you can see. Let's zoom in on that. Mavericks versus the 76ers. And that happens every year. This was our second year going. And then there is the welcome reception party, which I did go to that. We did not go to the game. We were very tired and really wanted to enjoy the room. So we did. So in order to pack light, I literally only brought one pair of shoes. And that was it, because I knew we would be gone for 17 days and we had to fit all 3 of our things in 2 suitcases because we didn't want to have to bring too much and pay extra. So I didn't bring any shoes for a dress that I had for the party. However, I was able to put something together. It was a crochet skirt, neutral skirt, and this white top from Topshop. And I tried to make it do what it do. And I ended up liking it okay, but I don't know if it was for a cocktail party. However, as you'll see a little bit of the party, you'll see that not everybody was super dressed up anyway. However, these 2 people did not help me out with their outfits, so I probably looked a little odd standing next to them, but oh well. And I had to make them try to take this picture. As you can see, Grace won't even look. So even though I didn't get to wear my dress that I brought, I was very happy to finally get dressed. If you don't know, I love fashion. Of course, if you don't know me, then you don't know that I used to work in fashion before we moved to China. That's not what my master's is in, but that's the field I worked in. She wants one. Oh, you want one? Yes.
There you go. There you go.
So we really couldn't get these off until we got to Utamuchi. Just wanted to point that out. And that she didn't need a wristband. She's typically always the youngest one at work events and parties and dinners and whatnot. And that was true again this time. As you can see, Grace was not playing. She really wanted that wristband. And as you can see, I'm not the only one dressed down. Some are even more dressed down than I am. So this video won't be of the best quality as far as footage goes because I try not to be too intrusive and I don't want to like put the phone in others' faces and things like that. I've been to enough events and enough house parties with players and staff and different things and seen different things, and I just don't want to be in the mix if something leaks that should not. So I try not to really record when I go to events with Wayne, unless it's something open like this. It was a beautiful party. It was a beautiful cocktail party, and I forgot to mention that it was at the Shangri-La Hotel.
So cute. Oh, she's adorable.
Grace loves the dancers. Every time someone's dancing, she's looking. We've been to a lot of events, and this is always her favorite part. Yay, right? Good job. They're gonna say the commissioner's name in Chinese. That was it. Adam Silver. We actually saw some old friends and a bunch of players that we knew or Wayne knew, and a lot of people from ESPN were there and different places, and it was really cool to see a lot of foreigners in Shanghai. It felt really good to see that all in one room. Not that there aren't foreigners in Shanghai, but I mean foreigners that we know. I only took one picture, and this was this distant picture of Adam Silver because I like him as the commissioner, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I did not take pictures of any other people we know or that Wayne was chatting with. I don't do that. Never have. This is mommyhood, bending down to feed my baby. Like a true cocktail party, there were no seats, so that's why I had to bend down to feed Grace. But we decided to go outside at this point. This does the view no justice. Not a conventional seat, but we found a seat. Eventually, Chatterbox Daddy came outside to join us. People were lining up to take pictures with these ladies, and as they were going back in, before they went back in, I asked them to take a picture with Grace, and they were happy to do so. And then this guy just ran up to get his picture taken, so he's in a few of the pictures with Grace. Grace was acting shy, and then when they walked away, she got sad. Last year they had this, and we didn't get one for Grace. We signed up to get one, but it was going to take 2 hours, and we were ready to go. So I'm very happy we got one this year. I thought she was falling asleep at this point, and the night was about to get better. It was starting to get cold, so I took Grace in. Remember when I thought she was getting sleepy? Nope. Just wait on it. Go, Grace. Go, Grace. She took her shoes off. Really, Grace? It was at this moment that I just said, forget it. I had been chasing her all night, keeping her active. She wanted her father when he was chatting with people, and I had to keep her distracted and feeding her, and I didn't even eat. I had maybe one pot sticker. At this point, I wanted something to drink and something to nibble on.
Get it, get it, get it. Oh.
Watch it. That's Wayne's co-worker hyping her up. At this point, it was time to go. But not before I take these forceful pictures. They get on my nerves. Grace was upset because she was not ready to go. As you can see, she was rolling around on the floor living her best life, but it was definitely time to go after that. And Wayne was ready to get back to the hotel and relax because he hadn't been able to really do so. But I was getting the picture, regardless if they were smiling or not. Entrance is not as standard as other ones. It's kind of sexy. Looks like kind of like a museum. Oh, she wasn't done. After the party is the after party. And Daddy went out for cocktails and left me with this. Technically, Daddy was networking. But anyway, if you wanted to see what the calligraphy ended up looking like, or at least I think that's calligraphy. All I know is it's a nice thing to take home once we're done here. Wherever home is. Grace is obsessed with teacups, and she did break one. However, we didn't get charged, luckily, because we had already been charged on these 17 days away in Thailand for the sheets. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch Thailand Part 2B. Big girl. Apparently, this is supposed to work for headaches. It did not, but Grace is trying to be a trooper and join me because I had a really nasty headache. Listen, I never thought I would be so excited to eat Taco Bell. I want some now. Because we live in Urumqi and it's not as progressive, we don't get much Western food. There are maybe a few hot spots that have a few Western dishes. Because of that, when we go to other places in the country, we do eat Western food. A lot of people think that we're not embracing the culture because we long for Subway and Taco Bell, when really we're just deprived of Western food living in Urumqi. Speaking of Urumqi, this was on our plane ride back when we were just 20 minutes from landing. So that was our time in Shanghai. Again, we've been there several times before. And this time I just really wanted to highlight the hotel and a little bit of the event and what it's like for me on work trips. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or any other things you might want to see about Urumqi or China, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely do a video about it.